Hello everybody and welcome! Today NASA has announced a crew for Artemis 2, the first mission to fly to the moon in more than 50 years since Apollo 17 was there the last time. The 4 astronauts that will board the Orion crew capsule in November 2024 are Mission Commander Reed Wiseman, Spacecraft Pilot Victor Glover, Mission Specialist Christina Hammock-Koch, and Mission Specialist Jeremy Hansen. The first 3 are NASA veterans who have already spent time in space. Hansen was selected from the astronaut corps of the Canadian Space Agency, and while he had many remarkable career milestones on Earth, Artemis 2 will be his first mission to space. Similarly to Artemis 1, the upcoming mission will launch aboard the Space Launch System from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. After launch, the Orion capsule on top of the European Service Module will fly into a high orbit around the Earth, where the astronauts will check all the systems to make sure things are working as intended. When coming back to the lowest point of the orbit at perigee, the main propulsion system of the ESM will perform the translunar injection burn to send the vehicle towards the Moon. Artemis 2 will then do a lunar flyby and then return the crew of 4 safely back to Earth, if all goes well. All of this should be over within roughly 10 days. During the presentation of the crew for Artemis 2, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson remarked on the Sea of Blue, as he called the combined astronaut corps of NASA, Canada's CSA, Japan's JAXA, and the European Space Agency. However, there weren't really a lot around from ESA. Astronaut veteran Luca Parmitano was present, but everyone else seemed to be back in Cologne. And for a very good reason. Because this week marks the beginning of the official training of the new astronauts that were recruited in the astronaut selection process between 2021 and 2022. More than 22,000 people had applied for that, yours truly included, and only 5 were chosen as career astronauts and 11 as members of the astronaut reserve, yours truly not included, unsurprisingly. One of these select few ESA astronauts will be on a flight to the Gateway space station, which is designed to act as a stepping stone between lunar orbit and the surface of the Moon. That was part of the deal of ESA providing the European Service Module for the Artemis flights. However, from what I've read so far, there is no guarantee that a European astronaut will be part of a surface mission in the next couple of Artemis flights. Later though, we shall see. This is just a short news video because I think it is exciting that humans are finally going back to the Moon. If they go there to stay, as NASA keeps saying, we shall see about that. This is not in the hand of them, but of the politicians across the world that sign the budgets that provide the funds for all of these space exploration missions. But if this is really the first couple of steps towards a permanent presence around and on the Moon, we are going to see not just the Gateway space station, but also surface outposts, first attempts to harvest water ice from the Moon, and maybe build the infrastructure for future missions to Mars and beyond. There is also the commercial aspect to take into account. If you follow United Launch Alliance's CEO Tory Bruno, he has been saying for years that there's a $1 trillion cislunar economy waiting to kick off, and having a permanent outpost at the Moon would make it a lot easier to retrieve resources or manufacture goods that cannot be produced on Earth due to the high gravity. However, that's a topic for an entire different video in and of itself. For now, let's look forward to the launch of Artemis 2. Yes, it's still more than a year away, but there will be so much space stuff happening in between that this launch date will come up and you'll be surprised it's already here. Wanna bet? If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel for more and follow me on my social thingies. The links are in the description. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.